Murderers! Hello everybody, welcome back to Morilibus Plays Minecraft. We are back at the Guardian thing. I'm ready to get this thing started. I've got kind of things outlined. Those 2 points aren't connected, but for the purpose of what we're doing, it's probably okay. And what else do I got? I've got some inventory full of stuff, and a ender chest full of stuff. So we'll need to set up base somewhere. Also, I noticed one thing while doing this. I don't know if this corner is going to produce any of those guys. We'll have to maybe try to get a test going by having some water here in which they can spawn. I don't think this is deep enough or at the right level for them to spawn in at the moment. But if we go underneath, you know how it kind of cut through our world? Hi guys. It stops right here. And then it goes down and it just kind of goes into the wall and stops, but it's not actually in the wall. So I don't think this area will spawn, but we'll have to see. And then, don't touch me. You got your pokies out. Hi. And then it kind of curves around again. Stop it. I should have brought some night vision potions. Yeah, and then it goes and then it's stuck into the wall again. So I don't know. We'll maybe not clear it out right away, but we'll take into account that we might want to test this area. Otherwise, that's right around here, right? Otherwise, we'll do something like that and bring it all the way across. But yeah, I do have a beacon ready to go, or some gold blocks. So we should probably set that up somewhere where it won't be in the way. So maybe just off to the side here. And then we're also going to probably want a little bit of a base where we can work and not get blown up. Now we can put the beacon on the surface. I think it'll be okay. I might dig down, actually, just to keep it safer so that, like, creepers don't explode on it. But if we put it here, that should cover the whole area, I think. It goes... I'll make sure. It goes, what, like 50 blocks? And we're at about 700. If we go to that side... We are at 7, maybe not, maybe we do have to put it closer. So if it's a 57 by 57 area, I guess the beacon should technically be inside the area. So maybe I'll just put it here in the middle on a floating platform. And that way it'll be safe for mobs as well. Are you trying to hit me or a squiddy? So yeah, somewhere around here. I don't know if I should try to find the center. Maybe I will for the fun of it, so that we are in the middle. But let me get that set up. Alright. I didn't quite have enough gold. I had 3 stacks, but that was not enough for 3 beacons. Whoops. So here we go. We got 3 of them set up. Well, they're here. They're not working. Let's go ahead and probably leave you there for good. Grab 3 of those. Also brought some potions because I had to run back anyway, so these are left over from our last trip down here. So I think I said we want haste 2 for sure. So we want to be able to dig fast. I think having speed 2 would be nice for maneuverability and help get around those guys. And at last, we need some regen to help us stay alive, and I think we'll throw that on with some resistance. And there we go. So that'll make us more durable. And now we'll regenerate our health again. So that's good. I might try to kill some sheep. So that we could... That was interesting. It's like, I don't think... Did I just duplicate my ender chests? Yeah, I don't know if there are sheep around here. But if I see any, I will probably kill them. But we might not need it either, so... Also, what I did bring here is... Let's see... Oh, we don't have jump boost, though. I brought some pistons, or redstone stuff that maybe if we do try the sponge stuff, we could hopefully set up some kind of automation in terms of getting rid of it. Does that make sense? So, yeah, to dry it. So we could, like, use half our sponge, we'll go out, we'll place them, suck up all the water. While we're doing that, the other half will be here somewhere being dried out, or what have you. I might use this tree as our building area for our drying area, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna set it up probably similar to like my auto smelter that I built, which is based off of I think Tango Tech kind of design, using hoppers and stuff to evenly distribute items throughout multiple furnaces. So I think I have enough stuff with me to accomplish that. Boop. I don't know why I did that. I just felt like doing it. But I think that's the next step. Is that the other next step is to get some chests or something going so I could store the gravel I brought here. So I think we'll try to make this beacon here our workstation. And maybe we can even put chests on it. One will do for now. And then I can at least get some space. I want my space. Okay. Let's get all the gravel out of here. So the gravel we'll use to get rid of the water as well. Just happen to have a bunch of gravel, so why not? Okay. And then I want to experiment with the sponge a little bit as well. I've seen people experiment, but I haven't experimented myself. So we might do that. So let's grab some sponge that is already wet, so we actually have to cook it. So let's do that. Okay, so I changed my mind. Chop down some trees, get some more oak. I think we're going to put them right here. So that's... I think we're just going to do 8. And the furnaces can go directly on those, I do believe. Yeah, sure. Fuel, we're just going to do that manually, so we don't have to really worry about that. I do need, I think, one of these going into each furnace. And then I guess we could put the input chest right above. Okay, let's just do that for a second. Guess like that. And then however the hopper's going this way. So like that, I guess. And then all we gotta do is put a comparator, I think, at the end of this. So actually we gotta get rid of that. This gets a comparator there, but first, does it need a block? I think so. And then it comes back on itself and we power these guys. Okay. Give me some redstone. Done with you. Okay, so I think that's it. Oops, I gotta replace this guy with a repeater so that doesn't happen. Alright, so I think this is based the concept from Tango Tech. I think. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, it locks the bottom row of hoppers there. So if I put an item in here, like an apple, it's not going to go down, it's going to go all the way to the end. And when it gets to the end, this comparator is going to read that guy and sense that there's an item in it, and then he's going to allow it to drop into the bottom. Now, if it's something that the furnaces can take, and if there's a whole string of them, so what we're going to do, for instance, we can do this. We put the wet sponge in, and it's going to keep trying to put the wet sponge. Should. Oh, I forgot to... Well, I forgot to hook that up. Yoink. So now it should be taking the wet sponge, and once it gets to the end, it drops. But when it drops, all these hoppers have a wet sponge in them, so they drop like the whole row drops down to the next spot. And then they go in here. And then I think we're just going to use some coal. That's too much coal. Just because I don't know what quantities of items we're going to be smelting. But if we do them in... I guess that's all of them, so the most we'll be doing at a time is 4. So this is a waste of fuel, but I don't know what else to use. And then excess fuel we could put in here for now. And there you go, we're getting sponge. So we got some that we can test with. Awesome, so that'll be a very simple array. Throw what we want smelted up there, and it'll get smelted and it'll bring it to us here. Now we don't even need the collection part, to be honest. We could just have it, we'll make a bucket of water. Those guys make some weird noises. It's like you're at the ocean or something. But yeah, we could just leave it for collection and then we go through and manually take out the sponge. But I guess this thing will use 8 coal every time we run it, for the most part. And I think it's done. 32, I think that's all we had. Alright, so to test the sponge myself, I might expand this area a bit. First, I just want to see linearly. Linearly? I want to see how far it'll get rid of water in a linear form. I don't know what the mechanics are for this, and I think I've heard that it might be limited by just how many source blocks a sponge can get rid of, and not necessarily in area. Whoop. So I don't know. I do not know. But for instance, if I put a sponge here, it's gonna... How can I do it in a way that won't... I guess if I made this too deep, right? If I make this too deep, there's no water source blocks at the bottom here. Alright, it's all flowing water, because there's... Unless we put some source blocks to make it that, because it... In order for it to create a source block, it needs to be surrounded by a source block and have a solid block below it. So now these won't have a solid block below it, so I'm hoping that it will stop wherever this goes. So if I put in the corner, this water shouldn't come back. Yeah. And we can kind of see the area it did. So it did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... And then that's the source block, so it did 7. And then it kind of went in an angle. And then it's hard to say what it did for the next layers down. So let me just do a mock-up. So that's our sponge, and it went... Let's see, what can I use that's not going to grow grass on it? I guess we use the oak. So it did 1, 2, 3, 4... Oh, and actually, let's put that up in the air. So that'll be the first layer of our test. Okay, it did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And here it's a little harder to tell because this kind of started flowing back in. But that should be well enough. I think that's the source. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did 5 that way and 7 that way. So that is odd. So I don't know if it's as simple as what I'm laying out here. And then this was like that. So I could do this slice by slice. But again, I don't know how accurate it's going to be. I think what we could summarize from this, maybe I'll go down like 2 more layers. So if I get rid of this water, and I'll put the water lower, but I'll still put the sponge there, I guess, and have it touch some water. Okay, test number 2. Alright, so I did this again. I didn't move the water down, I'm just going to move the sponge block up. However, I do want to do 2 layers, so we'll do something like that, and then if I do this, it should get rid of something. Okay, there we go. So that went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I guess 5 as well. So I think last time this part may have kind of skewed the results that we got. If under like perfect circumstances, this thing might be able to clear out a whole sphere of water by the looks of it. It is kind of diagonal. So essentially that's 2 blocks lower. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then something like that, I guess. 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's kind of what we got, and then we could assume it's going to do something like that, I guess. And then mimic it on the other side. And we kind of have, it's almost like a diamond shape. But if we look at it from above, I guess, what we want to figure out is what is our most useful way to use this sponge. Like what I want to see is if we could perimeter off a section. Oh man, I don't have many blocks. If we could... Oh, I have grass. Grass, fine. So let's say this is what we end up doing. We can make a grid in the water area with the size that we want to get rid of. And then we go to down to the bottom. So we start at the bottom so it can't recreate the source block. So I guess it doesn't really matter. But we could start by doing one sponge block, then pillaring up however many we determine, do another sponge block, pillar up, do another sponge block, and then we kind of get rid of the water column by column. Now what that would mean is we'd still have to drop sand and stuff down, so we could do that. But my goal here is to figure out what is this grid size that we want. So I think using this, and as is, let's see here. So if we consider this our thing, and if we wanted to space them like that, right? That's one sponge, then 4 blocks. So if we could replicate this part up above, right? So it went 5. I hate when the rain's on because it makes me feel like I have to shout. I know I could turn the particles off. Maybe we'll do that because I do feel like I'm shouting. I guess there's also the weather volume slider now. But anyway, so yeah, if we mimic that, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we could find a cubic area, which looks like maybe here, or like here. So if we pillar up like that, what am I doing? I just don't have enough blocks. Okay, give me those. I need them. I need them. I need them. But yeah, that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we go the other way. That doesn't look quite right. But, oh, I guess this, because I started from a diagonal position that wasn't the right diagonal position. But anyway, and then we could do, not that though. So yeah, it would have to be this one instead of that one, I think. And yeah, this episode, guys, just kind of some cutting and stuff like that, but most part just kind of doing stuff. Not getting a whole lot done, but we're planning. Oh man, am I brain dead? I think so. Me brain don't work. I think you get the idea. Yeah, it should have been here anyway. Alright, so there we go. A cross-section of the area I think it would clear if in a cylinder form, well, rectangular form, with sponges every 2. So I don't know if it's going to work, but why don't we try it? We'll take a section of water there, we'll partition it with the gravel we have, and we'll see if this actually will work. So we did a test. Let's prove the test. Okay, so if we start here, and essentially we need a 9x9 area. This isn't very deep though, is it? Maybe what I'll do, we'll start on this corner. So that's included, I guess. I don't know. So like from there, voice crack, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But it's 9 inclusive, I think. So here. So 9x9. I don't think that was supposed to be inside, but maybe I'll go double check. And yeah, we won't have a lot of water because it's not that deep. And I don't think there's really a deeper area, just slightly deeper in the middle. So this will do. Alright, so I have this area. It's marked out 8x8. The area in which we want to work with is 7x7. I did it 8x8, so I could just drop gravel here. And I'm just going to drop enough gravel for it to come to the surface. And this one is pretty close already, so I could just partition it off this way. And we will use the nicely chiseled out exterior that has given us as a guideline on what we're going to dig out. And then we only have to go down to, what was it, 31 or 37? 39 is the lowest we have to go. Is that, yeah, that goes there. Good. So yeah, I'll just fill this up. Alright guys, for the sake of the test, I'm actually going to chop out this landmass anyway. We got to get rid of it eventually. It should turn to source blocks, I do believe, because we got them all on two sides of us. Probably hard to see. Should really use those potions I brought. There we go, much better. Now you can see. Yeah, so we got this area marked out. So it's 7 by 7 area. And then we'll just head on down. No, my squid. I'll save you, squid. I didn't save you. You are going to skew my results, aren't you? Oh, God. And then I gotta use some more gravel to separate this bottom part. I don't know where he went. Let's not worry about it. Doesn't matter. Be not afraid. Okay, that should mostly take care of it. It does lead into a cave. That's interesting. For the sake of our test, let's get some flat ground. Sorry, skeleton. Goodbye. Actually, what level are we at? We're at 42, and I said we had to be at 39. So 3 blocks below what we're at. That's okay. We'll dig that out after. Alright, I think we're ready for our test. So we'll start in the middle. We could actually probably go up 1 or 2 even. Yeah, we should be able to go up 2. Let's not, though. And we're going to put 1 sponge. And hard to say if that did what I wanted to, or if that just turned all the way back to source blocks. So we're going to go up 4. Do that again. It might just be water flowing down now. Or we could have messed up the measurement. And by we, I mean you. So I didn't screw up. I probably screwed up. So what we could be doing is absolutely nothing. Or we could have just gone rid of everything. No. So that didn't seem to do it. Oh, wow, look at that mess. I might try again and just do a stack up. Or every other. But decrease the spacing. So I couldn't tell. Like here it cleared out that corner, but it didn't clear out this corner. Or that corner. I think it might be the volume issue. It just can't clear that many out at a time. So this might be too large an area, so we might have to section it off even smaller. I'm not sure I could reuse this. Like, I'm not sure what is source blocks and what isn't at this point. There could very well be other little pockets, I think. We might just try to see what we can do now. We got rid of some, so now we'll kind of go down the corners. And bring it down a bit more. And see what this actually looks like, if we can notice anything. There. There. We just gotta do it in ways where it can't come back, I guess. So, like, I don't know how useful this is. Gimme. At least, not yet. I want to use you, sponge, I do. What I think would actually be cool if sponges could be used, if you could dry a sponge without having to put it in a furnace. Like maybe if you put it on top of, or in the presence of fire, like wherever fire would spread, if it's within that area, it will dry. So you could set up like an automated farm in which you could remove lots of water and put the water back. So it's easy right now to make water with buckets and droppers or dispensers and stuff. You can make a large area of water appear out of nowhere. The problem is getting rid of it doesn't quite work. But if you could set up like a piston array or something that would move sponge blocks to come in contact with the water. Whew, wow. So that was terrible. There's some water here and here. I mean, we could try doing a smaller section, a 5x5 area, and see if we have any better luck with that. But yeah, that might be neat. So you have like the pistons push out the dry sponge, takes in the water or sucks up the water, and then you could retract the sponges and put them over top of fire or over top of lava or something like that to dry them off again. That way, as a block, sponges would be kind of more useful, or in an automation sense, I guess, instead of just you placing them and then having to pick them up. Okay, let me try. We'll try again. We'll try a smaller area, maybe right next to this one. Alright, we are now in a 5x5 area. I'm going to put the sponge directly on the ground this time. That looked like it worked, and it looked like it worked almost up to my face. So I think if we did a separation of 2... That's going to do it again. Okay. This time I'm going to stay on top of it so we don't fall down. Okay. So 1, 2, pop. 1, 2, pop. 1, 2, pop. 1, 2. Ooh. Not done. Okay. So, we didn't get it all. Let's see what we missed, if we can. We'll use dirt. Okay, so there's one there. There's one there. And we have there, there. Maybe both. Maybe it was only one of those. That's not bad, even if we have to do that. I mean, it almost did it flawlessly. And we could just double up our usage of sponge. Okay, here we're at some more, though. It looks like that one and that one. So same thing again. It might be partial to a direction. It seemed to have done better on this side than that. Hi. Oh, he's on the other side. Alright, what's next? Same there and there. So maybe every other one would have worked better. So if we look in correlation with the sponge, like the next sponge, we had a sponge here, space, space, sponge here, I guess. No, I don't know if there's a correlation. But there we go, it got rid of all but 8 water sources. That's not too bad. So I might do it that way. I might just partition this into little 5x5 sections and then use that to drain it. So yeah, alright guys, well I think that's all the time we have for today, but we got a plan. So I think from here I will, we're going to, yep, let me out. So from here I'll lay this all out and probably try to get it drained over the next, before we do the next episode. So I'm probably just going to first go all the way around the perimeter, placing gravel, and get the outside done. Don't touch me. These guys are kind of a challenge. They almost killed me. Haven't killed me yet though, but they almost have. Big meanies. But yeah, I'm going to do this all the way around, and then I could do little grids off of it. So every 5 blocks, I put one of these. And we do that all the way across, and then we use the sponges to get the water out of those little trenches we made. I don't know, there might be an easier, better way that I'm overlooking, and I'm sorry if there is. You could totally let me know what that solution is. And maybe everything I'm doing here is silly. Just silly. But anyway, guys, that is it. We're moving into the Guardian era. Let's get some work done. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.